I'm back and I'm back with my girls. Let's talk about 80 She-Ra. First of all, some context. Obviously, as a 21-year-old, I was not alive to see She-Ra in her heyday, but when I was but a youth, my parents had me watch things like She-Ra and Voltron, and now I have a problem spending money. But it didn't start like that. I'd be lying if I said I was really into it as a kid, because I was not a cartoon child. I was messed up in the head. I liked Animal Planet like a weirdo. But as I got older and the new reboot She-Ra came out, I'm like, that sounds kind of familiar. I know that name. Then I looked it up on YouTube and I found the original, and I'm like, this is a thing I watched in Grandma's basement. This is everything to me. And now I have an obsession. Without further ado, allow us to go down this adventure. First up, we'll start with the figures. We have She-Ra herself. She's got her little sword and her little shield. She's so beautiful. I love her hair. They did a good job with like the multiple tones of blonde, so it actually looks blonde instead of yellow. Look at her little boots. They're kind of worn, but kinda, I mean a lot, but you know, it's like that sometimes. I love her. I think her sword has been a little nibbled on, probably by a child, which is a little sad, but you know, kids do what kids do. Also, side note about She-Ra, when I was a little girl, I always pictured her like, oh, if she were a real woman, she would look like my mother. Because she's blonde hair, and has blue eyes, and has a slightly deeper voice for a woman, and it's just kind of kick butt. I'm like, that's just my mom. So She-Ra is my mom, according to like 6-year-old me. But there you go. Next up is my girl Catra. I have her little mask. It's hard to get it to stay on her face for display, but you know. Her face is just so pretty. Look at her. Dark-haired queen. I love her. She's so perfect. Then we have the one dude of the group, Bow. Sparkly cape, little bow, little quiver. And okay, he has this feature, right? So you take off his chest plate, if I can get it off, and he has the little, press the button on the back and it makes it look like his heart's beating, and that's a little bit, it's a little bit body horror, but in like a lame way. He's also supposed to have a little elastic headband, sort of like this material, but it has been lost to time, so there you go. Then we have He-Man's #1 fangirl with her little, if I can get it to spin. Anyway, you blow on it and it spins, but I'm a silly goose, so. She's just so pretty. Kind of a coward move not to get her white hair. I guess it would probably like discolor, get all gross. But why is there dust in her hair? Oh my gosh. Get out of there, you little clump. There we go. There we go. Oh, pretty. Ugh. I'm gonna be doing this a lot because I love them. But I feel like she looks so pretty with white hair. I don't know. Then we have our Lord and Savior, Castaspella. Trying to get her hair to lay nicely with the spinner doodad is kind of a hassle. But she's one of the ones with like an obvious variant, because see her legs, that has a little cutout. A lot of them have it where it's just like the whole thing is yellow, but I like the cutout better. I think it looks more like the cartoon. You know, in the cartoon she's navy and gold. I don't know why they did this. Maybe navy was just not good for the little girls. Well, the little girls watched it, so why can't they play with it? I'm just saying. Mattel, gear up. I have 2 double troubles because she has a little spinny face. So I have one on her evil face and on her good face. And these ones have decent hair left. She didn't have much hair to begin with. These ones at least have some hair left. And another thing, the reason why, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure most of you do, the reason why the Filmation cartoon which is so different from the toys, was because Mattel controlled the toys and Filmation controlled the cartoon, and sometimes they did not agree on things. Like, she only existed in the comics sold with the toys. She never appeared in the cartoon, which is tragic. That's why the toys tend to look rather different from the cartoon. It's because, I don't know if they just, like, didn't communicate very well or just had very different creative visions, but that's none of my business. I love her so much. I had a huge crush on her as a kid. And she wasn't the first Angela I ever got. The first one I brought home had a face more similar to the other girls, where, like, if you compare it to She-Ra, she had a face more like this one. And she was wearing a skirt as opposed to these little pants. And when I brought her home, my mom was like, that's not the Angela I remember. And then I found this one, and she's like, yeah, that's Angela. She's got, like, a little, if I can get her hair out of the way, this little button back here. Kind of like a halo. You push it. She flaps her wings. Ugh. I love her so much. She's so pretty. Then we have her daughter, and I love this one. She has such beautiful hair. Oh, and her tiara. And she's neat. She's called the Guide Who Lights the Way, or something like that. And her staff and her headpiece, and I think some of her little paint bits glow in the dark. She's an icon. Oh, look at her little tiara. Oh, ignore how awful my nails look, but, like, I love you. Starting with wave 2, because there were 3 waves of She-Ra toys. Starburst She-Ra. Her boots are a lot less worn. It's got that little pink color scheme. And the only real difference between the actual base doll of the original She-Ra and this She-Ra was that her arms are, like, connected on the inside. So when you raise her little arms, well, if the cape was attached, it would. These little, it, like, goes up and it's like, stars. You are now blinded by stars. She has a little sticker. So pretty. And this, I don't know why, but every Starburst She-Ra I've ever had has a very, like, hard face. Usually they're, like, rubbery, but these have, like, very crunchy heads. So I'm not sure what that's about. Everyone Shut Up is Entrapped Time. This one, it has the original factory rubber bands in it, and I know I should wash it out and restyle it, but I'm terrified I'm gonna ruin it. Just look how beautiful she is. I love her. Out of all the characters, I think she would be the most easy to translate into, like, a new style, because, like, in the cartoon her skirt is pleated, and you can see it's, like, dual colored, and it reminds me a lot of, like, the 2020 e-girl skirts, you know? Which was an interesting style, but we'll accept it. But look at her little shoulder pads. And her purple eyes. They're so tiny. So I imagine painting them was, like, a hassle. But just, her little headpiece. I love her so much. Then we have another icon. Wave 2 really popped off. We have Sweet Bee and all her curls. Another one that glows in the dark, her headpiece. This part of her wings. I think that's it. I think that's the part that glows in the dark. But she's just so... And the wings attached, because, like, this neck piece, well, the necklace and the belt are connected in the back by, like, a strip like that. And there's Velcro on it, and the wings just sort of, like, stick on there, and they're reversible. It's very fun. Trying to get them to stay on with her hair being so big. There goes her headpiece. Where'd it go? There it goes. There it is. And her face is just so unique compared to the other ones. She's so beautiful. Dramatically sighs. I love her. And I do have a lot of the combs. I only really remember Sweet Bee and Catra's because they have unique colors. Hers is yellow, obviously, and Catra's is silver. So those are the only ones I really remember. Usually they're like pink or purple. But next up we have the girl Peekaboo. It's interesting because in the cartoon she actually has pretty short hair. It's more like shoulder length, which isn't really short, but comparatively to the other girls. And I wish she had shorter hair. I think it would be fun, but I'm not going to take it upon myself to cut it. So she has this little gold skirt, and I love her color scheme. It's just so fun. Let's see if we can see her sculpt. She's just so pretty, and I love the belt. Girl, will it popped off with this one, and this little, fun. My favorite annoying little lady, Perfuma, and her little flower cannon. Where's the? She was scented when she was first released. Now she just kind of smells like 80s basement. But yeah, this is like the remnants of her styling. She came, when I got her, she came with her rubber bands still intact, but I washed them out because they were falling apart at the seams. But basically she would have like 2 pigtails. It was like a big knot with a pigtail and a big knot with a pigtail, which was, one was a high pigtail and one was a low pigtail, so it was really a decision to be doing that. Maybe I'll restyle it and show you guys the horrors, but she's so pretty with her little skirt that, like, it's more of a dress, really, if I can get her arms to cooperate with me, because it has, like, these parts that come up and these parts that come down, and it's so pretty. I love her so much. But the lady, and she is the ultimate troll in the cartoon, if you remember, or maybe you just haven't seen it. She gets kidnapped by the Horde, and she basically annoys them so much that they let her go. Micor. Then we have the vaguely French lady. I don't know why her body looks like a totally different color on camera. I promise in person it is a lot less obvious. But she has her little tail, and all the Mermistas ever, because you see, like, on other dolls, their legs are more like stanced out. Hers are very straight because she has to fit into the tail, so she looks very bow-legged when you take her out. But she's just pretty, and I have her little, because you would fill it with water and you stick it in her back, and she'd go and she would squirt water out of her little necklace. I would show you, but I'm terrified of getting water trapped in her and like molding her guts, so we will refrain from that. The second Catra, Scratch and Sound Catra. She's got her little, she gonna mess you up. She's so pretty though. And then I have her accessories, her shield, her comb, and her little mask. Icon. Okay, drum roll for the best character ever. That's my opinion. I just, Flutterina, my love. And her whole deal was like, you'd like hook this little thingy onto something, and then you'd pull, and her wings would flutter. Look how beautiful her wings are. Oh, and her little necklace, her little skirt. Oh, she's my baby girl. That's it for the characters in Wave 2. Now on to Wave 3, of which I only really have one of them. My girl, Netossa. Yeah. She's just so beautiful with all her little details. Ugh. But there were 3 other dolls that were produced for Wave 3. There was Spinnerella, Bubble Power She-Ra, and Shower Power Catra. I don't have those 3. But if you know a lot about the toys, you know that they repeat a lot of the body molds. Like this is Peekaboo's body mold. And with Spinnerella, they used Flutterina's body mold. So I took a Flutterina and I painted her to look like a Spinnerella. Her hair isn't quite right. Spinnerella's is supposed to be more like pink and purple streaks. It's a lot more curly. But I did find the reproduction clothing on eBay. So, you know, it's close enough. Like, she fills the gap on my shelf. Okay, now let's talk about animals. I have all but 2 of the horses. We have regular Swiftwind. hear my shoulder crack? Oh my gosh. Anyway. Oh, sorry. We have Arrow, Bo's horse, which never really appeared in the cartoon. Also, only the Swiftwinds have the horn and the reins and such. Everyone else just gets the wings and the saddle. Look at him. Then we have Storm, Catra's horse. I do have the box for him in the back. We'll take a closer look at that later. Then we have the Crystal horses. We have Crystal Swiftwind. He's so pretty. He's so shiny. Then we have Moonbeam. I always want to say Moon Dancer and Sunbeam because that just makes more sense in my head. But it is Moonbeam and Sun Dancer. So there's Moonbeam. And Sun Dancer. And these two didn't have like a set person who goes with them, but Sun Dancer was often sold with like in gift packs with Sweet Bee. I just threw her headband across the frickin' room. And Moonbeam was sold with Peekaboo, but in like the actual like bios, they didn't have like a set person they're supposed to go with. But they work color scheme wise, so you know. And then we have Little Cowl. He's more of a character than an animal, really, but look at him. And his whole gimmick was like, you open this up and there's a little color in there, so it's like a magic 8-ball. You open it up and if it's green, it means yes, red, no, yellow, maybe, And I'm scared to show you that because a lot of times like the stomach will break off or the mechanism will break. So that's what happens with old toys. Hehe. Next up, I'll show you what I have of Sea Harp. I'm missing the cushion and the reins, but it's a really neat little toy because it's like a mobile thing, You're supposed to put your characters on them and it's like a car, but it's supposed to be pretty music, but it is broken because it is several decades old. They were meant to be children's toys, not collectibles, so. Then we have Claudine, who I'm not sure is meant to be a girl or a boy because she has a mane, but her name's Claudine. So, Drag Queen Lion, I'm not sure, but she's missing one of her little eyes, little eye gems. But other than that, her flocking is pretty good. Icon. Then we have Enchanta. I'm just gonna grab her by the neck. Giant Swan. Glimmer's little buddy, I guess. Well, not little, kind of massive, but it has like the reins that go around like that. The wings come off. It's kind of dusty because I have it on top of my shelf because it fits nowhere else. But yeah, very pretty. I love this carrying case so much. Leave it to them. Oh, there goes that. Leave it to them to make a sentient carrying case. The little butterfly, the color butterflyer, and you open this up and that's where all your accessories go, and then your characters clip into these things. She's just so pretty. And it's the most impractical carrying case I've ever seen in my life, but it's so fun. Anyway, Storm's box. The art is just so beautiful. Oh, and I didn't mention, the two horses I'm missing are from Wave 3. It's Silver Storm and Royal Swiftwind, I believe. And they're basically just like the horses, but more eccentric and beautiful. But they're hard to find and very expensive. So this is what I have. I think I'm going to talk about these gals before I get into the play sets. So we have the Origins She-Ra. They made two versions. The one I think was like exclusive to a PowerCon had rooted hair. The ones they sold in Target only had molded hair, which is tragic. But yeah, she's very pretty. I like her face. Just wish she had brushable hair. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Also, what's with these shoes? I don't know. I feel like they could have been more pizzazzy. And her little accessories. Accessories! So pretty, pretty. And our evil girl, Shadow Weaver. A little dusty. Everything in my life is dusty. But yeah, I have her accessories somewhere, but I just have her sitting on my shelf as is. Look at her nails. And that one's a little jaggedy, but look at her nails. Nice. I've got the Funko Pops. Got this one. And Dusty. The one on the horse. Nice, nice. And then I just started collecting the classics line. And naturally, one of the first ones I had to get was Flutterina, because she is baby girl. Just look how amazing she is. Look at that. Once again, I wish they had rooted hair, but you know, she's got a little manicure, sorry. She's got a little manicure. Her beautiful wings. In the package, they only showed this side, but this side is just so much more amazing. And she, a little sword. We love an armed baddie. And the first set I ever got was the Star Sisters. They got the little staff. The little lady. This is Starla. I love the shading on her, where it's like the yellow and the orange. Oh. Then I have Tall Star, and I have her little bits, because like, these were never released in the 80s, but they made the prototypes, and her thing was like her arms extend, and her legs extend, and her neck like extends, and, you know, they can't really do that with this type of plastic, but they did a thing where like, you know, these like limbs pop off, and there's like other bits you can attach to make her limbs longer. I'm bad at explaining things, but I also just woke up, so, you know. I wish it was rooted hair, but this is a really pretty sculpt, not gonna lie. And then we have Jewel Star. And I didn't know this until I got her, but it looks like she has little wings. But they just look like little wings. And look at her cape. She's so beautiful. Look at her little manicure. Little Dusty. Dusty is beautiful. And we got the little bird on his list. Please focus. Oh my gosh. Why are you not? Okay, there we go. This part comes off. But he comes with a little stand, and he does come off the stand. Trying to get him on and off it, it's kind of a struggle. But he's got little wings. Oh well. It's articulated. For playsets, I have this very bare bones Crystal Falls. So it has this like, tilt this down. It has this part, you fill it with water, and you pump it through, and it comes out like a fountain. There's a lot of little accessories that are supposed to go with it, but I have none of them. This little guy is supposed to clip on there, but it is broken. So there's that. But it's just so pretty. And we've got Crystal Castle. Let me scooch back. So we have the armor rack, which is actually really pretty. I dig it. The fireplace. We have the flag up there. There's the throne. The bed. The bed is really gorgeous, actually. The little pillow. Little clips. Little rug. And this, oh, there's me. And then I have two of the map tables. I have this one, it's a little beat up, but it's the American version. Or like the English version, I guess. I'm not exactly sure. because this was the international release, so I'm not sure what the technical terms for are, but this one is the one without any labels. It's really neat. Yeah. I also have this box. It is not in a language I can read, but it is beautiful.